Okay, so drilling down more detail. Value proposition and innovation. What is the painful problem you were solving for customers? And how painful is that problem? What is your product and what is innovative about it? What are shortfalls of the current solution? How do you solve this problem, meaning the painful problem? And can you quantify your benefit? And how does your innovation enable you to accomplish this? Meaning, what's the linkage between your innovation and your ability to solve this problem better than current solutions in a quantifiable way? So this is a first set of questions that we ask every potential entrepreneur. And this is the first exercise that you need to go through to evaluate whether your idea is going to form the core of a potentially scalable business plan. This is also a great exercise to complete because now you can explain your idea to anybody, any investor, and they're going to understand what you're talking about because these are the exact same questions that they're thinking. So let's try to just work through with a product that we all know to make it easier to understand. So let's do this, answer these questions for Google. But imagine Google, like, not now, but Google when Google started, like 2004, or even 1999, when they're developing the IP. So what's the painful problem Google is solving for customers? Okay, so search for information is it's a good start. This is what they enable customers to do, search for information on the internet. But what's the customer pain?
The need for information.
Okay.
How to find the right information effectively.
Okay, so this is all good. These are all good answers. Let's think about, I always like to start out by, when I'm trying to understand the customer problem, by presenting the problem statement as the customer expressing a pain. My pain is what? Now think about the market landscape back then. There's internet. I'm using internet. Can I search internet? What am I using to search? Alta Vista or even Yahoo. Even Yahoo beat Google significantly into the market time-wise. So imagine I'm using Yahoo. So what's my pain?
You can't find the right information.
I can't find the right information. Okay, yeah. How about my search results are not highly relevant. I search internet on Yahoo. I want to find information on internet. I search using Yahoo. I get results, but my results are not relevant. This is my pain. I'm getting irrelevant results. Too many irrelevant results. So, okay, Google, what's a product? It's a search engine, online search engine. What's innovative about it? Sorry, let's go back and I want to add one more thing to the problem. I'm unable to find relevant search results, and more generally, I can't find the information that I want on the internet. Although I have a search engine, I can't find the information I want on the internet. So, okay, Google, we have a search engine. What's my innovation? So I have a better search algorithm. I have a better search algorithm that delivers what? More relevant results to searchers. And that's, what else? What other innovation do I have?
Keeps crawling the entire net, looking for more links.
Okay, I would say that's a good point. There's several innovations in the algorithm. What else? What about the user experience? It's faster, okay, so it delivers faster result using a better search algorithm. But what about the user experience? Do you remember what Yahoo homepage looked like in the 1990s?
Advertisements.
It's a mess, right? There's banner advertising on the home page, there's categories, there's a search box. It's very difficult to navigate. So Google's so first innovation is the search algorithm. Second innovation is the user experience. So we have a very clean user interface. It's no advertising on the home page. It's just a single search box, easy to find the search box, fast and easy to get relevant results. And then what are shortfalls of the current solution? I mentioned already, Yahoo, the primary competition. It's slow. It delivers a lot of irrelevant results. It's messy. It's hard to find the information that I want and hard to navigate. How do we solve the problem and can we quantify? Yeah, we solve the problem two ways, with a better user interface and with a better search algorithm. We can't quantify because we can tell you how much more relevant our results are than Google, how much faster it is, and how much less clutter we have on the home page. And then how does our innovation enable to accomplish this? All this is, especially on the speed and accuracy, it's driven by our better search algorithm, which crawls every web page and also which ranks links between pages to give us better understanding. So that's great. But now we work through value proposition and innovation. Now, does this seem, the way I described so far, does this seem like a very painful problem? Like I can't find the information that I want on the internet. Or it's difficult for me to find the information I want on the internet. How painful is that problem?
Quite painful back then, perhaps.
It was pretty painful, but where did it rank in your list of problems? Like, let's say the problem of can't find the right girlfriend. I mean, back then, or wife back then. Or don't have enough money. You know what I mean? Where does it rank in the priority of problems? I think it's painful, but it's not the type of problem that you think would create a $300 billion company like Google. So why? Is my theory flawed, or are we missing something very important?
Because that kind of people don't know something can be so effective, that is they created the solution for them.
I think that's a good point, but I think we're also missing something very important.
The internet boom.
This is important too, but that's a good point too, but I'm thinking something different. Let me ask you a question. How many of you are Google customers? Raise your hand. And keep them up, keep them up. Now keep your hand up if you have sent any money to Google. Oh, wait a minute. So are we actually, I have sent money to Google, but are we actually Google customers? In what sense are we Google customers? We are Google's, users. We use Google. So we are part of what I call, we are in a very important part of what I call Google's value chain. Value chain means all the participants in Google's business model who ultimately generate revenue and profits for Google. So definitely us as searchers, we are important participants in that value chain, and Google does solve a painful problem for us. But Google's business model is based on, includes something that we call a two-sided market. Two-sided market means there is more than one key participant in the value chain. The other key participant in the value chain is what? Is who?
Whoever gets the site listed.
Advertisers. So the real paying customer of Google is advertisers. Now, what is the painful problem that Google solved for advertisers? What's the pain? Okay, so as an advertiser, I'm in the same constant pain all the time. What is that pain? Advertising is expensive. Advertising is horrifically expensive. And it doesn't work. And I don't know if it works. Right? I suspect it doesn't work. And I also can't judge whether it works or not because I don't know if I'm getting my ads to the right people. And therefore, I waste a tremendous amount of money. on ineffective advertising, and I also can't evaluate the effectiveness of my spending. Now, how painful is that problem?
Very much.
This is the most painful problem in business. The most painful problem in business is I'm losing tremendous amounts of money. Meaning I'm pouring money into something that either, best case is I don't know if it works, worst case is it doesn't work. That's it. That's why Google is a $300 billion company now. Because the value proposition they had for advertisers solved a painful problem. The value proposition they had for searchers also solves a painful problem. When you put this together, this creates one of the world's most successful and valuable startups and later companies. Because painful problem on both sides of the value chain, innovative solution, and able to quantify, etc. So hopefully we learned a key lesson from this example, which is when we formulate our value proposition and our strategy, we need to understand who are all the players in our value chain. And we need to provide a value proposition for each of those players, and we need to make sure that our value proposition is aligned with the interests of all the key players. So, and we have to be able to quantify the benefit. So for example, okay, let's look at some example from biomedical space. I've developed a new diagnostic test. It's a test that tests for some, let's say, condition. Currently, in order to test the patient for this condition, the hospital has to administer 5 separate tests. And these tests are very time consuming, and the results don't come back for a week. Now with this new test, the hospital can administer 1 test and we get instant results. So is this a incredibly powerful value proposition? Have we solved a painful problem for customers? What is the painful problem that we solve?
Waiting time.
Waiting time and what?
The endure 5 tests.
What's that?
The patients have to endure going through 5 tests.
Patients enduring 5 tests, they have to wait a long time for the results. So there's a clear value proposition for the patient. Who is the other key participant in this value chain?
Selling.
The hospital, right? So what's the value proposition for the hospital?
They spend less time for patients.
So it's faster in testing. But how about the fact that I used to sell each patient 5 tests, and now I only sell them 1 test? Can I sell this 1 test for as much as I used to sell the 5 tests for? Is this, maybe I can charge each patient a lot less money now. Which means the patient saves money, which is good for me or bad for me? Bad for me. I'm losing money on this test. Unless I can somehow charge the same for the 1 test I used to be able to charge for 5 tests. Or unless I used to outsource those tests, and actually I don't make a lot of margin on those, now I can do this test in-house. But it's not so clear anymore, because we didn't really figure out, do we have a powerful value proposition for the hospital? And who actually buys the product? The hospital. They buy it, and then they effectively on-sell it to the customer. So we have to go back and rethink this. Are we able to, will the hospital be able to price this at a level that makes it interesting for them? So that's not a simple problem to solve. And if you miss key participants in the value chain, you can make big mistakes. I had this experience with a company that I started in Singapore. This is one of my first investments. I invested in an interactive outdoor advertising company. And we put interactive poster cases in shopping malls in Singapore. This was back in 2004, so we were very early, way too early in the market. This one didn't make it, but okay. But we had the very powerful value proposition for the advertiser, which is, right now, advertisers, at that time when I did market study, advertisers were spending about $100 million a year on outdoor posters. Posters that were in poster cases in high traffic areas in Singapore. So how many posters do you think you passed by in the last 24 hours? How many advertising posters? I mean, if you went into, did anybody go into like downtown or Orchard Road or any central part of Singapore? If you did, you passed by at least 100 posters. Name one advertisement you saw on one poster. Name one, anything.
Russell Peters.
Which one?
Russell Peters convenience store.
Okay. Another one.
SUTD.
Hmm?
SUTD.
SUTD? Okay. Anybody else? So out of 50 people, times 100 posters, 5,000 posters, we have 2 people that remembered 2 products. That means that 4,998 posters were ignored. And that means that if you take that $100 million and apply that, 98 million of those dollars are wasted. And the problem is even worse than that, because did you buy anything when you saw these posters? No. So maybe one person. So we had these interactive poster cases that we put next to the shopping destination. So when you get to the poster, it says you're entering the shopping mall. The poster recognizes you because it had face recognition software, and it says, "Oh, hi, Douglas. The store on the second floor has a 20% off on white dress shirts. If you go there right now, we can give you that discount." So I see that ad. It's personalized for me. I run to the second floor and I purchase a shirt. It's sort of work like that. So this is great, and right? I mean, this is a great value proposition for advertisers because they can do call to action advertising right at point of sale. So in addition, we price at 10% of television advertising, which everybody knows, even back in 2004, everybody knows television advertising doesn't work, right? How many people watch television? And then people that watch television, where is your remote control when you watch television? In the hand, right? And then what do you do when a commercial comes on? Change, right? And then say there's another commercial on the channel you change. So nobody watches television, and people that do watch, nobody watches commercials. Everybody knows, and even back then we knew. So I could go to the advertisers and say, our product is 10 times more effective than television and 10% of the price. So is this a powerful value proposition or no? It sounds great, right? So I went to do this pitch, and who do we pitch to in a business like this is a company called a media buyer. Media buyer is the agent that takes the advertising dollars from television, from a, for example, advertiser, and allocates them across various media. So I remember doing helping the company do a pitch at one of the big media buyers in Singapore, and I was so proud of our value proposition. And I got up there and said, so finishing, on a high note, and we are 10 times more effective than television at 10% of the cost. And I expected like a huge round of applause from all the media buyers, and then no applause, just people looking at me with a quizzical face. And then somebody finally said, "Why would we ever want to do that? We're spending the client's money. It's not our money." And I realized I realized at this moment, way too late, that the media buyers are paid a commission based on how much money they spend. Yeah, so they get 15% of the money they spend, or 10%. So if they spend $1 million, they get $100,000. If they spend 10% of that, which is $100,000, they get $10,000 instead. So they never want a cheaper product that's better than television. And by the way, they spend all their time trying to sell television to the advertisers because they get the biggest commission from that. So my value proposition is totally reversed. They're not interested at all, and they're the direct client. They're a key participant in the value chain. So what to do? Yeah, so we can increase the price, and we ultimately did this. But like some people suggest, why don't we go talk to the advertiser? The advertiser is the one that really cares about this, right? So we did do that. Or you can do that once. You go talk to the advertiser, and then the advertiser might even do it because they see the value. But then after they run the ad for 30 days, who do they ask if it's working? The media buyer. And the media buyer says, oh no, it's not working. Like, what a waste of money. And then what happens after that is the media buyers like hate you because you cut them out of the loop with a client. So then they cut you off from future advertising with all the big clients. And then there's like 5 media buyers in Singapore, and they all know each other, and then they meet every Friday for drinks, and then they talk about what a jerk you are, and then finished. That's it, and your whole business is done. Why? I mean, it didn't work out like that because we did change the price and whatever, but key lesson there, we have to understand our entire value chain, and we have to have a clear value proposition for each member of the value chain.